So Megan, tell us a little bit about your background and growing up and where you went to college and all that other stuff,
Um,
all that other good stuff.
so I grew up for the longest time in Southbridge from kindergarten through 10th grade. My family moved in 10th grade to Wachusett area, so I went to Wachusett my last 2 years and graduated from Wachusett. I chose to go to Lynchburg College in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Better weather, huh?
Yeah, better weather. Or at least I thought it wasn't as nice as it was still nicer than here, I should say. But I will say we got snow and they had no idea what to do with
What to
snow.
do with it?
They were leaf blowing the snow to get rid of it my first year. Um, but I thought a lot of my friends were going to UMass, and I thought my way of doing something different and getting away for a little bit would to be go further away. I wanted to try to experience something different. So I did choose to go to Lynchburg College. I finished my 4 years there with a BA in marketing. I had my first job, which was sales, and I absolutely hated it. It was
Hated
a lot
it.
of cold calling.
Yeah.
Hated it. It was my first job. I mean, granted, I only had like other jobs as lifeguarding and bagel in and things like that, but it was the first job where I truly dreaded getting out of bed every morning to go to and make cold calls. So I finally got up the nerve to just quit. And I had never done that before, and that was probably one of the hardest things I'd ever done before. I was never a quitter.
Thinking that was a sign of defeat that you
Correct.
spent 4 years
Correct.
of college and
Correct.
now you're not
and
doing
I thought
your major.
I was like, I should be doing this. This is what I should be doing. I got a $30,000 first job, and things like that. So quitting was hard, and I really had no backup. So it truly was. I quit. Like
Okay.
I
So
moved on.
where did the teacher career come in? I know there's
So,
people
yep.
in your family.
So in the interim, my mom said, "Well, why don't you get like an instructional assistant position, or a sub position?" So I applied, and I did get a IA position in a STEP classroom, which is a behavior classroom at the All School. And then a few months later, a teacher at a school had just left, and I got offered a position. I was taking classes at Fitchburg State, which they were offering a free special ed degree. So I was taking classes, so I was working towards a provisional degree. So I took over this classroom for the remainder of the year. And I continued. I liked it, and I continued on after. I'd always said I would never be a teacher. I would never be a teacher. After attending multiple years of visiting my mom in her school and playing the Easter Bunny and
Oh, you have.
coloring,
Yep.
and coloring papers for her and cutting things for her collage, her bulletin boards, I said I would never do this. I don't know why people would put this on themselves where they're working at night and everything like that. But I liked it, so I continued my SPED degree, and I ended up graduating with a SPED degree in moderate disabilities from Fitchburg State. And then I ended up getting a job, which was ultimately what I wanted. After going through the program, I wanted a degree in high school. So I started working. I was offered an inclusion position at North High in 2006.
And
And
lo
I've
and
been there.
behold,
And I've been there ever since.
17 years later,
Correct.
assistant principal.
I've been there ever since. So
Okay.
in the time at North High, I went for my administrative degree through Worcester State in the cohort at Worcester. But I've been there for 17 years.
Okay. So describe what went through your mind when you got your diagnosis. That probably hit you across the head.
I don't even know that you can describe how you feel because it happened so fast. I got the phone call at work. Luckily, I was with my North High family, and I call it that for a reason. I literally got the phone call at work because my PCP knew that it would be posting online, and
Oh, on your
my
chart,
chart.
your my chart. Okay.
Yep. So wanted to call me. Sorry, we have
That's all
our
right.
2-year-old in the background.
Life goes on here. That's the thing. taping or not.
So I got a call, and over the walkie, I tried calling multiple people and wasn't able to get a hold of them in their office because, as many of you know, North High is not a silent place. It's very busy,
Noisy,
and no one's
yeah.
in their office. So over the walkie, I had to ask for one of my best friends at work to come up. She came up along with another one of my best friends, the two people that I would say are my true tribe at work, along with the principal at the time, who has also been part of that tribe, Lisa Houlihan. So they all came up, and I was screaming, I was crying, I
Which is the most normal
right. I don't
reaction.
know how you could describe it. A lot of F-bombs were dropped. Luckily, I was behind closed doors, but even some kids got to see, the upset. They had no idea what was going on, but they got to see that something was wrong. But those three people walked me out of school and brought me to my mom's house. And that is where, I started to process what was going on. But I don't know that there's any words that could describe how you feel when you get a diagnosis, especially at stage 4, when a lot of people know that stage 4 is kind of like a death sentence for my disease.
But you have remained absolutely unbelievably positive right to this juncture right here. What, a year and a half?
Yeah,
year and a half
November
later?
22nd, 21st. 19th was when I was diagnosed, excuse me.
And then you
So,
got
yeah.
it. Okay.
So,
let's come back in our next segment and have you tell us how you've been able to remain positive.
Okay.
We'll be back with more in part 2.
sounds good.